S33, 2022. Water replaces land again. Herself, Derwent. Between counties, drowned Thalweg down from clung unknown. Blue vein maze, least friction. Bleaklow bogs, by barrow stones, by grinner stones, sprung young swains grieve. Peaked gruffs, gathering, flow force by cold side oaks to plains, meandering cranberry bed, by village haunts, vestigial sylvan names, oak-lined Derwent, ashes of Ashopton. Summer, no meaningful rain, uncovering lost so long land grows again, silverweed in soft earth mud, red stem threads running over amongst rubble. Ridge-ringed stumps sprout honey fungus, show single trees, glades, woodland walks amongst lanes. In wind-ripped water, crow on post stays. Water-worn, floated, fluted stone, water-heaped bricks, stone spent, carved time, rippled through low, low rooms over inches of walls. Washing darkened fireplace, stumps of towers, slipways, gateposts felled and tipping, curving roof of pump stations, slates sliding, piling in gutters. Mouldings, carvings, softening. Coping stones, cornerstones, clay pipes, concrete pipes, open to channels, manhole covers, iron implements, rusting skeletons, layings out by water. Traced lines of kitchen gardens, greening up quickly, ready to grow. Millbrook flows again under the uncovered bridge. You've heard the story of them hearing the chimes of the bells. I think that's why they took the spire down in 1947. That, and they didn't want folk swimming out to it. What signify cottage, post office, hall, shop, school, pub, church, chapel, farm, barn? Centuries of small stone additions, quarries, sheepfolds, troughs, lynchets, sleighways, hollowways, packhorse routes, fords and bridges through to Sheffield. Small commerce, back and forth and home. Mr. and Mrs. Winthorpe outside a bricked cottage. School children on Ousildon Bridge, circa 1909. Scale shifts. One moment, centuries turn, sheep washing at Howden. The next, taking full force of distorted water, flooded out, tunnelled out, feeding, piping, terrace rows, mills, factories. Leicester, Derby, Sheffield, Nottingham. Autumn. Mortimer Road driving into gold along reservoir chain. Leaves holding longer, year on warming year. Finches, siskins at fair homes, feeding at visitor centre. Wind bringing beech and larch leaves down, here, there and over it all. Golden paths, gold corners, caught on black steps up to West Towers. And what's not under's gone anyway, all the way down the valley, the country, as the buzzard flies past the old shooting lodge, the old shop, schoolroom, old chapel, barn and pub, private, private, private. Goldfinches dip in and out of the high teasels, rhododendrons. Unsettled settlement, 3,000 years since the first flint tools, gathering, hunting, cooking, naming, clearing the dale for farm and pasture. Hope Woodlands, Woodland Hamlet, 1689. Beneath moor edge, small spaces, by woods, by water. Fair homes, 1507, fair land above river meadow. Locker Brook, 1215, brook by an enclosure. Birchin Lee, 1225, clearing in birches. Grindle Barn, 1762, by small stream or ditch. Grain Foot, 1592, river inlet at foot of peak. Boundaries, county to farm to field. Carve, curl, lower valley, up, contours of slope, walls and ditches. To the west, Royal Forest of the Peak, the King's Woods. To the east, Welbeck Abbey's land, the Abbots. The moors, the outcrops, commons, shared pasture, turf, stone, till all's intaken, enclosed, owned. Plentiful resources ensuring nationhood and empire. Sir Henry's stream beside his shooting hut, Lord Edward Howard's spring. Scale shifts, then shifts again. Rails, trains, tin town, pressure, sound, steam. Crushers, pumps, cranes. Navvies at Birchin Lee, their jackets and caps, children and dogs, moustaches, could be there 10 years or more, till downing their last pints at Roundtree's, the smoke room of the Ashipton Inn, Ashipton, Derbyshire, 1940. Dartboard, prize trout, calendar on brick wall, window onto the fell. Mason's yard at Locker Brook, stone dumps in trees. Names become dams, aqueducts, roads, reservoirs. Plantation replaces woodland, pasture purified by Sitka pine, quiet crops, conifers for cash. Before, after, Clough's hold, Clough's the heart held, inhabitants' heart, wet woodlands, birches of Birchin Lees, ashes of Ashton, hollies of Hollin, blackbirds of Ousildon, carved through, living, breathing hunts and haunts, deer holes, Fox's Peace, Beaver's Croft. Derwent, her valley went, between, below, wren-hay coppice, oaks of oaken bank, alders of shire owlers. Hollinclough Bridge, mallards gather, swim thrown leaves through, disturbed, fly up. Operational assets for your safety. Forest management, hydropower, ground investigation, danger, soft mud. Keep out, monitoring levels, pumping solutions, understanding geology, not accessible. Private fishing, observe weather, protect the invisible, leave no litter. Dogs on leads, effluent sampling, wonderful on tap. Bylaws over, guard against fire, strictly prohibited. National parks, scan QR code, planning proposal, site safety, sewage treatment, open country, cyclists slow, please relock, beautiful place. No camping, fishing, drone flying, swimming, paddling. Summer, up the tops, the old trails. Dark peak scented purple by ling, bell, cross-leaved heath, blown over by cotton grass. White-boned burnings for the shoot. Over Harden, the lost lad views familiar waters diminishing. Derwent thinned back to her old course at Valley Head. Grouse chuckle, curlews call. Scale shifts, then shifts again. There's talk. There's testing for a super dam. We need more water. We need to use less water. They want to build 20-metre walls in front so high you wouldn't see the towers. Flood out all the woodland. They'd lose their houses over on the west side, slippery stones, all that. It's not even for here, the water. It's for people down south. They've ruined it down south. Why ruin it up here? Amounts of money going into billions. Is the cost of what you're doing worth it? It's going through planning now. Over they come. Always came from Sheffield. Highway leading from Stannington to Darwin, 1581. A57, Snake Road, never entirely quiet. Out from the city, to be calmed, to be cooled. Trekking up, cycling up, driving up, past the reservoirs, up the young river, water sliding light, tumbling over gritstone edges, tumblestones, to old pack-horse bridge, scenic, out of place, to slippery stones, Thalweg, on the west, Severn Trent, Derbyshire's, on the east, National Trust, Yorkshire's. Between, into Derwent's clear, peaty pool, they dive. Even his head, completely submerged. The minute they leave, sandpipers, wagtails, dippers, into evening.